Hi everyone, this is Makiko from Reiki Lab. How are you today? This is a continuation of a Hot Journal Club, and we are taking questions from students who are taking this class and try to answer in this format so that all the question is eventually answered. This is a question came from David. It's a very good question, so I'd like to take this first. So here's what he said. I'd like to know more about the following. If you are having trouble finding your purpose in your heart, can you ask your higher self what it is? Or ask if you're on the right path? That is a very good question. Do you notice how he asked a question? He said, can you ask your heart? And that is a very important point because a lot of people do not even understand, comprehend the power of your heart. That your heart knows, understand far more than what you think. And it's almost always right for you if you start with the heart, not here, the brain. So before I go into too much about that, although it's very important, let's focus on his question. So having a trouble finding your purpose, can you ask this to your higher self? The answer is yes, of course. It comes this answer comes very naturally if you're already aligned, right? If you're already connected with a higher self, you may not even notice, but you are basically already merged completely with your higher self. So your action, your word, your expression is very much in alignment. However, there's another challenge here, even if you align well with your higher self. Because our daily life is such a full of distraction, your question or challenge become at this point how well and how long, how often your action, your word, your behavior are matched to that of your higher self. So this is where I become other things become more important. Time management, focus, intention, and your practice. You know, how to make a lot of different things. You do nothing, or where you think it's routine, you can make it more sacred practice. So there's an additional challenge after that. But let's say your main question here is how to find out, right? So let's say you may not be aligned to your higher self well enough, or you haven't even thought of the alignment to higher self. Okay, so let's say you haven't done this so often, or you're less aligned or less familiar with this idea about your higher self. There's one of the things that I've seen from students following. The first, they do not know how to receive the messages. Because they think the message comes in a form of such as like an email in your inbox, or somebody grab you and tell you this is what you need to do, right? Unfortunately, the message doesn't come in that way. And another thing that you may want to know is that you must initiate first, meaning that you have to ask a question first. And your mission is to find out the truth. You really want to know the truth. It's not something you pick up from somebody's seminar or YouTube, or there's somebody telling you this is your purpose, you know? So you must ask that question first. and you have a desire to find out the truth, how true the information you're receiving, what's behind, as you're still in illusion. So you ask a question, you initiate it yourself, and you wish to find out, right? The desire to find out the truth. What is your true contract, your soul contract, your purpose in this lifetime? So you ask, now you must understand, you need to know how to receive. The message come to you in various different ways. Some people get a message by meditation, or some people happen to have a more aha moment, or be able to connect what is happening in a day-to-day life, or even in a dream. Understand, wait a minute, this is something I've been looking for. And this person is telling me exactly what I needed to hear. Is that a coincidence? Or is this the message from the divine force? So that's some kind of practice you need to do. First, you must trust yourself, and you need to trust your instinct. You intuitively know it's the right message or not. As long as you trust yourself, the very first impression. A lot of time what we do is we deny it, right? That's just a coincidence. That's just a feeling. I don't know, I should give it a chance. I don't know, this is really not for me, right? We continuously deny, ignore our true inner ability to discern this is yes and this is no. So we need to develop that part of you, that you need to trust yourself and trust your instinct. So when this subtle message comes in, first you can understand and align yourself with, yes, this is what I was looking for. And then second, and you need to reconfirm, reassure yourself that is in fact the message I was waiting for. And it is like for me. Not because it looks good, or not because it's kind of likely scenario that other people will think, or this is exactly what your parents or your peer, your friends, your family member want you to do. Usually not the case. So trust yourself and listen to this subtle voice and messages. So we talk about the ask a question, know how to receive the messages, and how to trust yourself and use your inner instinct, recognize, and then capture it. Yeah. It is important that you need to believe in your inner power, and you are psychic, and you are intuitive. We are all born that way. And all those social programming and schools and all the things you hear and you listen, you begin to buy into the idea that you have to be a very special person or almost insane person to be a psychic. So you need to wake up yourself, and you are psychic, you're a great being, and you can do this. Okay. Yes, another thing that please do not do this exercise when you are not feeling well, which could be physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, right? We all have a stress. When we do under the pressure or truly imbalance in that particular aspect of our body or aspect of our life, it is extra difficult to align ourselves and pursue this endeavor, which really costs our energy from many levels. So make sure you are in a good place, your heart is in a good place, and you're physically, strong, and you're mentally also strong, and emotionally well grounded. Yeah, and you need to check those items off, because a lot of time when you try to align yourself and try to do something greater, if your ground is not solid, and if your body is not there, it becomes a burden, it becomes a challenge, it's not fun, and it may be doing something it's not supposed to be, none of your business. So let's make sure that you're in a good place and in a healthy place you're doing this from. All right. There's another thing I want to tell you. This is some kind of, in a way that's very secret, because it's a full proof, and it always works. How do you say this? In the very most straightforward, direct way. I don't know why they don't teach more often in a greater way, because it helps a lot of people. So here it is. Let's say you didn't do anything I just said, right? You don't resonate well with this higher self concept. And you just don't resonate well with the topic so far. The following I told you, it works to almost all the people, and very simple. Maybe this is why people don't tell you, but here it is. You are here on earth, and you think it may be less easy to reach your higher self because you may not see it, or you may not feel, right? But you may think reaching to the source of all that is far more difficult than anything else. When compared to your higher self reaching to the higher dimension versus you, the lower dimension, which is the third dimension, reaching out to far, far beyond. But it's actually quite opposite. We human here on earth has the direct access to the source of all that is. For some people, maybe resonate well with a term like a creator being, protector from higher dimension. I accept any of those terms. Basically, you have a direct connection with this greater being, greater plane of the things called the source of everything has started. Right? All you need is you and a pure intention to reach. Again, they all have to initiate from you, because they respect for your free will. So you're the one start. You're the one that wish to align yourself with the source. More you do this from the heart and the purity and pure desire and persistency, and you will receive the message even more clearly. And this time, it is perfect and lines up and opens up for you right before your eyes. And you know it, and the people around you know it and notice it. And interestingly, as if you are the sun, it changes everything and everyone you touch, and it's just being around you. So you will see the people, your close friend, family member, will shift as you shift. because you will shift as you receive messages, and you will act on it because it's so natural and it's aligned well with your higher excitement. So try this. If everything fails, do remember you do have direct connection to that source of all that is. All you need is just you be present here on earth. Try it. Good luck. You will change. You will shift. You will know it. And people will notice. And don't forget to write that down. I tell you all the time to write it down. Even me, I forget to write it down and regret later. Well, people ask me, wow, what do you do? What's the change? And then I say, yeah, it's been a lot of changes. So we forget those great miracles happens everyday life. So please write on your journal. And I hope to see you in one of those Heart Journal Club. Till then, be well.